Welcome, Deadite friends, to another Blogging It Up. My name is Robert, and this is my review of Drag Me to Hell. It's been over 20 years since Sam Raimi has done horror. The last one he's done was Army of Darkness, which was more of a comedy than a horror. Even Evil Dead 2 had its comical moments. I wouldn't call Drag Me to Hell a full-out horror at all. I'd call it a horror comedy because it does have its elements of comedy as well. My cat is jumping around on shelves over there. He's ruining everything. Get down off the shelf. You're not a monkey, okay? You're a cat. They didn't raise you to be a monkey. So the plot revolves around a young girl who works at a bank, whose name is Christine Brown, who's played by Alison Lohman, who I haven't seen in anything since a TV show called Tucker was on. That was like 10 years ago. I know she's been in other stuff, I just haven't seen it. So Christine wants a better position in her job, and she's has a rival with this other guy called Stu in her job. They're fighting for the next position, the higher position in the workplace. Stu's a lick-ass to the boss and is a complete asshole. Christine realizes that she has to be tougher to impress the boss, just like Stu does. So one day a gypsy woman comes in. She wants a third loan to pay her mortgage. Christine refuses, and this woman freaks out and later on curses her. She steals a button from her jacket, curses the button and gives it back to Christine. So from there on, Christine has 3 days to live. She tries to explain her situation to her boyfriend Clay, played by Justin Long, but he doesn't believe her. He thinks it's all in her head. She goes to a medium, and the medium gives her ideas how to stop this curse. The thing I loved about this movie the most were all the winks and nods to the Evil Dead trilogy. There's a scene in this movie where the medium gets possessed, and it's totally the exact same way someone got possessed in the Evil Dead trilogy. They're floating in the air, their arms are moving all over the place. It's the exact same thing, and it's hilarious. There's even a part where it seems like a cup is talking, like that scene in Evil Dead 2 where all the furniture comes alive. Just some great nods to the Evil Dead fans. And I'm not sure, I think I missed this, and if any of you have seen the movie, maybe you can correct me on it, but there's a part where the medium is flicking through a book, and I swear I could have seen the word Deadites on a page. I don't know, it was on big writing. About a month ago online I read that this was going to be PG-13, and my excitement dropped for this movie. I thought that Sam Raimi jumped on the bandwagon of all these horror movies that are for teenagers, just so it can get better at the box office. But this movie, even though this movie was PG-13, it certainly didn't feel like it was PG-13. There were so many gross moments in this movie. Watching all these gross scenes kind of made me feel like a kid again. You know, when you're young, you're playing in the mud, playing with worms and insects. I kind of felt like that. I was like, yeah, this gross stuff is fun. More. The comedy in this movie was half and half with the horror. It was half a horror, half a comedy, like I mentioned already. And I loved all the comical bits in this movie, and it worked so well. Sometimes it did get a little bit cheesy, but for most part it was fun. And if you know my tastes, I love horror and comedy mixed together. That's what I loved about the Evil Dead trilogy so much. When I say comedy, don't let that put you off. This movie has its fair share of horror. I've never really sat at the edge of my seat, my heart beating, watching a horror movie, especially these days. It just doesn't happen. This movie, you know, it was exciting. I was at the edge of my seat. I was waiting for something to pop out, because this movie has a lot of jumps, and sometimes you're expecting a jump, you're just embracing it. In this movie, it just pops at you, and you do not expect it. It's classic Raimi. You know, this is what a horror should be about. It should make you jump. It should make you laugh after you jump for being such an idiot for jumping in the first place. Alison Lohman was fantastic in this. I have a problem with like really hot girls being casted in kind of roles where they're supposed to be insecure and not confident in themselves. It just doesn't work at times. But Alice is really hot, but yet she was able to bring this insecurity about her character. She really brought out this fear in herself and the self-confidence that she lacked. And like I said, not a lot of hot girls can do that. She can do it. There was only a few things I didn't like about this movie, and the major one was in the middle of this movie it kind of dragged. Not much was happening. When the gypsy woman was on screen, like I said, there's a lot of gory, comical bits, and I wanted one or two scenes. I wanted that stuff in there, but it didn't have that stuff, and it didn't really push the boundaries that other scenes did. And there's a scene where Christine is with her boyfriend and go to meet the family for the first time, and I wanted something really gross or over the top to happen, but nothing really major happens, and there's one or two scenes that were kind of disappointing like that. Like I said before, there are some lines that are just ridiculously cheesy. The cheesy lines just didn't work at times. The character Christine does something in this movie that is totally out of character, and the thing about this movie is you don't really feel there's a pending doom on her. It doesn't really play that well with it, and if it did, I would have been okay with the scene, but there wasn't that impending doom, so what she does in one scene is totally off character, and I won't tell you what she does, but it involves something the medium tells her to do. Overall, this is a really, really good movie. If you like Sam Raimi and the Evil Dead movies, you will appreciate this movie, you will enjoy it. For all the winks and nods and the gross out humor and the comical and horror scenes. There's so much rolled into this movie. It does seem like a bit of a clutter, but it works so well. I am looking forward to Spider-Man 4, but I kind of wish that Sam Raimi would just stick to horror, because there's not that many great horrors out there in the mainstream audience sees. So, you know, this movie is different. Thank you all for watching. Check out my film site, www.filmspunk.com. It's my film site. I update it on a daily basis. I've now joined Twitter. I don't know why. I just want to kind of see what all the buzz is about. So, if you got a Twitter, add me. I'm sure you would like to know what I'm eating for breakfast tomorrow. So, I'll see you all soon. Bye.